If there's one tea that is so popular and yet so unpopular, that award will goes to pu'erh. Right? Pu'erh is this weird tea that if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. So I'm hoping this particular pu'erh, some of you that do not like pu'erh, is going to change your mind, because this is probably the most fruity, juicy, great texture. You can drink it all day. I almost feel like if I didn't tell you this is a pu'erh, you think it's not a pu'erh. All right. So this is a raw pu'erh, which is normally what people prefer to drink in China. In the United States, for some reason, people like the show pu'erh, which is the cooked version of the fermented tea. Pu'erh come from Puerh city in China. Long time ago, that Puerh city was a major hub for like trading tea, from like transferring tea from like Tibet and Yunnan, and even like Southeast Asia. And to preserve the freshness, they ate and they fermented the tea. And there are now two main categories of pu'erh, and there are some other fermented tea from like other region too. But normally it doesn't make sense to call them pu'erh if it's not from a pu'erh city. Think about champagne, right? It doesn't make sense to call them champagne if it's not from Champagne city. So it's the same concept. Right, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna show you how to properly brew this 2011 pu'erh from a Bulang Mountain, which I'm very excited because I'm gonna visit them in a couple months. Right, this is what it looks like. Originally, it looks like a big giant brick for like a kilo. So they comes with different shape, different weight. From 300 grams, or sometimes even smaller, like 50 grams, 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams. I've seen every shape, and I've even seen there's like this big giant one. Like, I don't know how many kilo is that. It's got to be like 2 kilos or something. I didn't measure it, but I've seen like crazy big. But the one that we're gonna do is this 2011. I really like this one. It's one of the few pu'erh that I like, raw pu'erh, that I actually truly enjoy. So I'm very excited for you to give this a try if you ever had a chance. 2011 Bulang Mountain pu'erh. So this pu'erh actually comes in a 1 kilo brick. So I have to use a pu'erh knife to break it apart, and use about 4.5 grams to 5 grams, about 100 milliliter gaiwan. This is one of the easiest raw pu'erh to make. A lot of raw pu'erh, you almost want to treat it like a green tea. But I've tried even using boiling water. It come out just fine. But to make sure that you get that juicy notes that I like about this pu'erh, we're gonna use 190, which is still the temperature that you're gonna use for a lot of Chinese green tea. And we're going to rinse this a couple times. I'm gonna get rid some of a little dust. And normally Chinese people, they like to rinse their tea once or twice. So we're gonna rinse it twice, just to open up the flavor. You gotta remember, this tea is old. It's since 2011, so the flavor's kind of like stuck inside. So we want to make sure we open up the flavor so that you get to try all the sweetness on the first sip. You know, first impression is very important. All right, and you can get rid of these 2 infusions. All right, clean your cups. Now, if you don't like any floaties in your tea, you can use your strainer. And making pu'erh is very quick. You pour the hot water and your tea is ready. Now, sometimes the best flavor is on the 5th infusion, sometimes on the 7th infusions. A lot of really good pu'erh can brew like 20 to 25 times to even 30 times, depending on how much tea you put. A lot of Chinese, they like to put like 7 to 9 grams, but if you're drinking alone, that can be a little bit of waste, you know. So I would use 5 grams, but if you're drinking it in a party, definitely you can try 7 or 9 grams. You're just gonna do really quick. Goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out for at least 7, 8, 9 times before you wanna brew it for like 10, 15 seconds. And if you follow that rule, you're going to notice that you get a lot out of your tea. You know, this 5 gram, I can easily probably fill up half of this easily, right? So make sure that you give it a try, you smell it a couple times, even if the flavor doesn't come out the way you like it right away. Don't give up right away, because a lot of time the best flavor is in later infusions. Now, this is one of the very few raw pu'erh that is actually tastes good almost immediately. So, but you know, if you had a lot of pu'erh in the past, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, well, this is kind of a really, really good version of that, because you don't have to wait until later infusions. Flavor is just so unique. It's unlike any other raw pu'erh I ever had. I'm so excited that I'm selling this thing, because it's so hard for me to find a raw pu'erh that I can make sure everybody's gonna love. Most of the time, either you love it or you hate it. But this particular one, I have a really good feeling. Oh my God, sweet floral, a little bit jasmine, a little bit chrysanthemum, even like a sweet honey notes. It's just really, really good. And like the textures, oh my God. The aftertaste, how it feels, a little bit citrus notes. Very peachy, just so many layers. And this is only the first infusion. You gotta remember, they only get better. Again, same thing, pour the hot water with a good intention. It will help. What I mean by good intention is just means you gotta like be gentle. The more gentle you are, the sweeter the tea is going to be, right? Just pour them slowly. This is the second infusion. I could take like 2 hours of video just making this one tea, but we are not going to do that, right? So second infusion, same thing. The temperature drop a little bit because I didn't turn on my kettle, and that's okay. It slowly goes down, and while you can still bring it really fast, so probably right now it's like more like 185. And then by the third infusion, if I don't turn on my kettle, it probably dropped to 180, and that's okay, you know. That's how you extend the life of your pu'erh. You're slowly using lower temperature, gradually by natural, right? And then later on, when you start feeling like the flavor getting weaker and weaker, that's when you can bring it back to the 190 degree, or in Celsius will be about, what, 80 degrees Celsius. And the color should look like this. If your color looked like this and you brew it really fast, then you're doing a good job. Now, if you're not using a good water, sometimes that can be a problem, and the color might not look like this. Make sure you use a good spring water, okay? Very, very sweet. Now, no metallic notes at all, because most raw pu'erh that in the market that I've tried, they can taste very metallic, which is really, really bad. I might buy the whole inventory of this pu'erh. Really like it. All right, that's the second infusion. So let's try the third infusion. Same thing, just pour them slowly, right? And we're gonna see how the flavor changes while you're enjoying 1 cup of this. So the temperature start going down, right? Because I didn't turn on the kettle. And then just pour them out. Color is almost identical, can you see? Keep in mind, if you're going to brew this 20-30 times, you want to make sure that you pour all the liquid out. Like do this, right? Beautiful, beautiful. A lot of like the shell pu'erh, they tend to use a lower quality, and the raw pu'erh, they tend to use a higher quality. So this one, I think, is really, really, you can tell from the texture. For me, drinking pu'erh, it's all about texture. A lot of pu'erh can make it really dry, almost like when you're drinking a black tea. I don't really like that. And that's it. It's very simple. Not a hard tea to brew at all. Anybody can do this. You can just, if you don't know how, treat it like a green tea, rinse it a couple times, and then you're good to go and brew it many times. And that's it. Pretty simple. If you have any question, let me know. Other than that, see you until the next tea video. Thank you for watching. Bye.